All right.
All right, we are live. Welcome to another episode of Sports Life Talk, where life without sports is just talk. Tonight we I'm gonna start from the bottom, Mr. United Surge.
Hello.
Then we have B Jones, the mouth of the South. Then we have KC, Miss Manhattan.
Hey y'all.
I don't know what that was. And then we have Coach KT looking all serious over here in the other.
I'm about to dance. I was trying to think of something to do, but you came to me too quick, so I wasn't prepared.
Okay. And then I am, of course, Gemini Jones. Thank you for joining us tonight. Sorry we were a little late, but we're going to blame that on, which way my fingers need to point? Someone down here, yeah, in the red shirt. But make sure you like and follow us on Twitter and IG and Instagram. And follow us on our YouTube channel as well. This is episode 42 entitled Big Game James, and our cover athlete this week is James Worthy. So, KT, I believe you are doing the cover athlete tonight, so take it away.
All right, James Edgar Worthy, aka Big Game James, was at his best in the clutch and when the game was on the line. Worthy started playing basketball around the age of 4, though he acknowledged during his Basketball Hall of Fame acceptance speech that he hated the sport, but his parents changed his mind. Worthy saw his parents struggling to pay for college tuition for his brothers and decided to get a scholarship to help out. That was the only reason that he played ball. Worthy went on to win 3 times. Let me start that over. Worthy went on to win 3 NBA championships with the Los Angeles Lakers and also an NCAA title with the University of North Carolina in 1982. He was selected first overall in the 1982 NBA draft and named to 7 All-Star games during his 12-year career, all spent with the Lakers. He mentioned on several occasions that he was the best player for UNC for 3 weeks until Jordan arrived. So I'm pretty sure we're going to talk about Jordan later.
Oh, that's it? It's like,
yeah, I got him a cut. That's period.
You gotta say period, because I wasn't sure. All right, so who is in charge of this week's trivia question?
That would be myself.
Well, I mean, so I'll give the rules, but I'm gonna throw an assist to my man. Is that how they see it? Am I pointing in the right direction?
Yeah, you did it right, man.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So Serge threw me an assist this week, but of course I will still, if you get the question right, I'll finance it and I'll put you in one of these shirts that have Sports Life Talking. As you see, Kevin rocking the Texas A&M maroon, Serge rocking the traditional black, the natural colors, and then of course, I'm rocking championship Kansas City Chiefs, and then she got the Susan G. Coleman pink edition. So all right. So yeah, Serge, I hand it over to you, man. You actually came up with some pretty good questions. So
yes,
I hope
sir.
you can get this one.
Yeah. So as KT mentioned, he won an NCAA title with UNC and also obviously won championship with the Lakers as well. So this week's trivia is name the other 2 University of North Carolina Tar Heel players who have also won both an NCAA title and an NBA title in their careers. So that's the 2 other players in addition to James Worthy who have won both an NCAA title,
so 3 total players,
and NBA title as well.
I love that.
And comment, hit us up, Sports Light Talk, and get you a shirt.
All right.
We might let you do it for now on, Serge, because this other dude been.
Hey, and it had nothing to do with LSU or Louisiana.
Hey, don't start. Don't give me ammo.
Thank you so much, Pam. The streak is still alive. LSU got name drop.
Whatever.
I think that's like 2 or 3 weeks in a row.
He said something last week.
It's like
he said something last week. At the
it's every week.
Yep.
It is. He
the
talks so
Bayou
much.
Bengal.
Right. So who is doing
on the side note though? Did you ladies get to see the draft? Y'all didn't watch the NFL draft last week?
I can't say that's high on my list of things I want to watch.
Yeah. I mean,
well, you missed one for ages.
Hey, hold on a second. I gotta back up the ladies on this. If Did y'all at least watch The Last Dance this past weekend? Like y'all did last weekend? No? Y'all didn't watch that either? Okay.
No.
Not you, B.
Hey,
Jones.
well, I will say this.
Well, remember-
I tell you this. If you didn't watch the draft, I know you watched the memes and the videos, like the girl getting her phone taken from her, and also the mom that pulled the girl up off the boy. I know y'all had to see some of this stuff that had to do with the draft, right?
Yeah, I saw
yeah.
that.
Oh, it was crazy. It was crazy. You had a Bill Belichick let a dog sit in the chair when he was on national television. He just walked off from the draft. His dog is sitting in the chair. You got people who had like some of these most elaborate offices, and then you had like some sitting at a table with like a TV on it. It was the craziest thing to see how everybody approached this draft differently.
Hey, you want to say some of that, man? We're gonna talk about it in about 5 minutes.
You know, he was
Oh, I didn't
unprepared.
read the doc.
Yeah, he was
I was
unprepared.
upset. I was mildly unprofessional today.
You're
Ran
late.
through real quick.
You're party to the party, and you're just all over the place.
Right.
I got the local live shout out, Pam.
Good shows though.
Okay, you have the local live shout out. All right,
All
Casey.
right. All right, so this week we're getting a local live shout out to all the players drafted, whether you're in the WNBA or NFL, that are from the Dallas area. So to start off, we have Lauren Cox. She's from Mansfield Timberview. Nope, I messed it up. She's from Flower Mound. She went number 3 in the WNBA draft, and she is playing for a team. I got it wrote down somewhere. We're gonna move on to Kennedy Carter. She went to Mansfield Timberview, and she got drafted by the Atlanta Dream. Also in the NFL, Texas. I want y'all to guess how many players from Texas actually got drafted or signed to a team. Just take a guess.
Should I read it?
23.
33. Followed by California, who had 23. Then Florida had 22. So it's a lot of NFL names.
10.
Yeah, it's a lot of NFL guys I could name. I didn't have them written on this list, but since I messed up on Lauren Cox so bad, let's just move on.
You didn't mention my draft.
What draft? Oh, she got drafted by the Indiana Fever. I found it.
The WNBA? You didn't mention that
Yes.
I had gotten drafted.
Well, no, I do have something for you though.
Okay.
We do have from Nacogdoches, Brandon Jones, Texas DB, drafted 70th by the Miami Dolphins.
It felt so good to hear my name called out on national television being drafted. It was a dream come true for all of about 10 seconds. I was going to my cell phone and waiting for the call.
Did anybody call you?
But did you say you had a missed call when you came back? Or you were making it up?
This call from the 305 from South Beach.
Whatever. All right, y'all. So speaking of the draft, you guys clearly watched it. Katie and I did not. But which player in the top 10 do you think will be a bust?
Oof. Who I think would be a bust?
Ooh, y'all breathing hard. That's how I feel when I feel like what am I gonna wear?
That word is very. That's a tough word. Like, who do I think won't live up to the hype? That might be a better.
I didn't type the word.
No, I know. I'm just like, bust is pretty easy to, I guess, just flat out say. But I guess if you're putting in the context of who do I think may struggle, I'm probably gonna go with Tua. Honestly, that's just me.
That's what my heart is leading me to. But
and
I'm rooting for Tua.
50% of the reason is injuries, and the other 50% is he went to Alabama, and there hasn't really been any great quarterbacks that came out of Alabama who became a star. He's probably the most hyped quarterback coming out of Alabama. Obviously, Alabama guys usually don't get picked in the first round, especially not in the top 10. Maybe a running back or a receiver might, but definitely not a quarterback. So, and he's left-handed, and it just, I don't know. I still haven't bought into the hype, but obviously other NFL aficionados and Todd, McShay and Kuiper, they all believe in him too. So obviously those guys know way more football than I do, but he would probably be my pick for
Well,
50%
Andrew
injury and
Purcell on Facebook
held
says
out.
the same thing. So thank
Okay.
you for
Well,
joining us.
since you said Tua, and this is sports show, I'm kind of in the mix on a couple other players. Chase Young went number 2. Physically wise,
That's
Chase
mine.
Young, he looks like the part. He looks the part. Everything about Chase Young says he's going to be successful, but something about him just feels, I don't know. I just seen him towards the end part of his time at Ohio State be able to be shut down against teams like Michigan. He didn't get a tackle or a sack. It was some teams that I really felt that I was looking for him to come back from that suspension. Remember, he took the little money and they made him sit out about 2 or 3 games. I was looking for him to come back and just be one of these all-world, all-dominant type
Like Clowney.
players.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Clowney or a J.J. Watt, even though Watt wasn't Watt in college, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He didn't just jump off. Like game film wise, watching it live, you didn't know Chase Young was even in the game. Somebody would have to say, "Oh, that's Chase Young down there," in order for you to figure out who he was. He was not a game changer. So I got concerns about Chase Young, but also Justin Herbert.
Herbert, yeah.
He, to me, has the, what do you call it, the lowest floor, or excuse me, the highest floor, which means he's not a high risk. But at the same time, I don't think that he's going to just propel his career and become like a 10-time Pro Bowler. He could. I mean, that's the beauty of the draft. Any of these players had an opportunity to become lights out. But for some odd reason, he seems like a safe pick, but I wouldn't have picked him at that 6th spot. Just me personally. I like Tua, and I like Joe Burrow. Herbert, I would have waited maybe to the middle teens if I could have. But, hey, that's the Los Angeles Chargers' new starting quarterback, so we'll see.
B. Jones, I agree with you on both of those. Chase Young, in that game against Clemson, did they play against Clemson in the college playoff?
Mm-hmm.
Did he even,
He got
was he
iced
even
out.
on the field?
Semifinal. Mm-hmm.
He was on the field.
That's
the
what I'm
point.
saying. That was your
Last week,
standout
I
game
gotta
to
see.
really solidify that you were a top 5 pick. And I'm glad the Redskins got him because it helps
How
us
did
out.
How did he end up a number 2 pick then?
Well, he's not
He's
a
a physical
scrub.
specimen, Pam.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh,
He's good.
okay.
he's not a
Oh, okay.
scrub, but he didn't show enough to me to want the number 2 pick.
Yeah, and then it's like when teams draft, especially that early, you usually have to pick up somebody that you desperately need a position in. They don't need a quarterback because they just drafted one last year. They could use a running back because the guy that they drafted 2 years ago has been hurt, Geis. But
Guys from where? He can't stay healthy. Where is he from?
Oh.
Now you don't want to claim LSU.
Yeah, I think also. I think also, like, no, I was going to say, I think it's also when it comes to guys getting drafted, like where they end up getting drafted to is a big deal as far as, projecting out, can they be successful or are they going to be a bust too, So you have to throw that caveat in there. And him going to the Redskins, probably not going to be – he's going to be able to hide, I guess you could say, because no one's probably going to really be talking about him.
No,
But you know
pick,
what?
you
One
can't
thing I
hide.
learned about this draft was the money side of how a draft works. And honestly, Pam, even if that team did want to draft a running back at the number 2, 3, or 4 spot, it's taboo. It's frowned upon. I remember Mel Kiper gave the Dallas Cowboys grief for drafting Ezekiel Elliott at the number 4. It's all about these contracts and who's going to play into the money. So typically you're going to see an offensive tackle, a quarterback, or defensive end be your first couple picks in the draft because that's where you want your money to go when you look at a $200 million salary cap. Those are going to be your most expensive players on the field, period.
Okay.
And I think number 1 was a QB, number 2 was defensive end.
3 is a QB.
And number 4 was 3 was a QB. Wait, who was the 3rd pick?
Tua, right?
I'm drawing a blank.
I
thought Tua went to Miami at 5.
He's a winner.
Oh, that's right.
Derrick Brown. Was it Derrick Brown? Nah. We'll figure it out. But anyway, number 4 was offensive tackle. So that's how quickly it came. Oh, Jeffrey Okudah. Jeffrey Okudah was the cornerback out of Ohio State.
Ohio State.
All right. So I know we already touched on this just briefly. I'm assuming you guys watched episodes 3 and 4 of The Last Dance, correct?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember why I did. Oh, I remember. I was doing something else. Shut up, sir.
What were you doing though? go ahead and let us know.
She was
I was
minding her business and staying out of everybody else's.
actually I was at the park.
Shunu? What you was Shunu?
No, I was not. Yeah, I was at the park, so I missed it. And then by the time I got home, it was time to watch Insecure. But it is recorded, so I will have to catch up. But go ahead and give me you guys' opinions of episode 3 and 4. Oh, B Jones, you're still not watching it though, right? Because you want to wait to the end. So KT and Serge, y'all get y'all the only two that watched it.
Yeah. And then I'm gonna be with B Jones. I'm gonna wait till some episode. I'm not gonna wait till the end, but I'm gonna wait till some episodes stack.
Okay, I got you.
You do, y'all do know that we have a sports show, right? That we can't wait until crap stack, because then it'll be old. But my opinion.
Wait.
Go
Okay,
ahead, KD.
okay, boss. So for next episode, I'll make sure I'll watch the 4 so we can talk about.
No, you got to watch 6 by then, because
No, she watched 1 and 2.
No,
She watched 1 and 2 already.
Oh, you already watched 1 and 2. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah,
boy
watch
down
3
there.
and 4 and watch 5 and 6.
Boy down there, he's the only one that ain't watch anything, throwing everything out. But episode 3, it was. I really didn't like episode 3. You got Dennis Rodman, and that's the best you could do for episode 3. Now, I did like the story.
That's a good point.
I do like the story of how Michael Jordan had to go to Vegas, get into his room to get him back.
No, he wasn't in Vegas. He came back to Chicago. He was just chilling at his house. He just wasn't going
but
back
he was chilling with a beautiful lady.
Yeah.
And when Jordan came through the door, this beautiful lady jumped behind the couch, and she was covered up in a sheet because it went down with her and Robin.
Oh yeah, big time.
Yeah.
And many others.
Now let me ask y'all this: how many employers are going to let you just in the middle of a season go take a little vacation? You're a professional athlete. 0, exactly.
Zero.
This is what we saw from
0.
Dennis Rodman. And Jordan told Phil straight up, hey, he's not coming back in 48 hours. And Jordan was right. And Jordan was about winning. So Jordan, pretty much, he a snitch and he a hater because Rodman was in there doing his thing. And he busted the door and ruined everything. Episode 4, when they got back to the actual Bulls team, that's when they got back on track. And I actually liked episode 4. So, Serge, what you got?
Pistons and stuff. Yeah. I think with the Rodman situation, the first thing that obviously comes to mind when he obviously takes his vacation is like everybody that's that thinks about and talks about the different eras and generations. Could you imagine if, say, we pick the Lakers and Kyle Kuzma, for example, decides to say, "Hey, I want a vacation. I'm going to Vegas." And because, he's got the like blonde hair and he's out with celebrities and hanging out and, with the Jenners and stuff, whatever it is, right? So could you imagine like somebody like that and with the attention that it's going to garner and how everybody's going to be talking about it? Every question is going to be about, hey, where is he? What is he doing? It's going to be TMZ everywhere, going after where he is. You know what I mean? So I think just from that aspect in itself, it is way harder to be an athlete these days than it was back then. That's first and foremost. The other thing is, obviously talking about the Pistons and, they didn't really go into the details about how they were struggling to beat the Pistons. It was just like they went from Jordan scoring 63 against the Celtics and by losing, skipping the next 2 seasons, and then let's go to the year that we ended up beating them. And It's almost like, I know Michael Jordan has controls over what gets put out. It's almost like you don't want to have people be seeing, you getting swept back-to-back playoff series. And because, that's not the image that people have. And you're not trying to give people that image, especially younger viewers who, I didn't even watch him play back then, but I still know what actually happened. If it's kind of like being a historian of the game, you still know what happened. So I was just really interested in just see like obviously the rivalries and stuff like that with between going against the Pistons and then going against the Lakers in the finals. Game 1 they lost when Michael Jordan was guarding Magic Johnson. When Game 2 to Game 5 they put Scottie Pippen on Magic Johnson, and the whole series changed. So as much as everybody wants to like compare and contrast, obviously LeBron and Michael Jordan and stuff like that, it's like just know that you had to have a secondary guy too who was probably even a better defensive player than he is in order for him to help him win a championship.
It's no problem too that Pippen is a better defender than Jordan. Let's keep it real. But the one thing I am tired of, I'm a part of a lot of groups on Facebook that are sports related. I am so tired of this Jordan LeBron debate.
Me too, man.
It's like every day they find something else to bring up to go with whoever they think is the best. Let's just put it to you like this. Jordan is the GOAT.
Yeah.
All right. Right now, LeBron is a man. Let's just have that and move on. Because I just scroll past. I don't even comment anymore. It's tiring. It's like me and B. Jones are arguing all the time. I get tired of doing that too, but I got to do that though because it's part of this show. But I am tired of the GOAT debate. We know Jordan is the GOAT. LeBron, once he's finished playing, will probably end up being the GOAT too. So, yeah.
Or at least let's have the conversation then, right? It's like he's not even, I would say, at least 4 or 5 years away from retiring. Like, give him his due. Let him do his thing.
Yeah.
He may, hopefully, knowing him, he was going to use all this stuff as motivation to come back, and whether it's a season this year or it's going to go into the next. But I know for a fact he's going to win at least one more championship.
Why it always has to be a debate about who's better. I don't understand why somebody can't just be great at their time in their moment and then let somebody else be great at their time in their moment and then somebody else. It shouldn't be you're comparing a present player to a player that played, 20 years ago? I mean, let Michael Jordan be Michael Jordan, just like Larry Bird was Larry Bird and Magic Johnson was Magic Johnson. Each player brings something, different to the game, their own spin, their own magic. Let them just be that person and stop trying to compare,
because there's no right answer.
Else. Just,
hey, Pam. Hey, why don't they all just go get mani-pedis and sip mint juleps and just have a blast with each other, okay? Get out of here with that foolishness. This is a man's game. It's a bunch of alpha males playing. These guys are competitive. I bet you they compete probably on who can drive down to the gas station the fastest. I mean, those guys compete on everything, and that's the nature of a beast when you talk about sports. Without that competitive fire and that drive to want to be the best and to be that alpha guy, I mean,
there's nothing wrong with wanting to be the best, but you're the best
they're not
at
the
what
ones
you do
talking
right
about
now.
It's everybody else.
But that's right now for us as the fans. I ain't gonna lie, I agree with you. But let's just put it this way. There's really no point in even talking about it until LeBron gets through with his career. Every single conversation is going to have an asterisk on it. And until we finally get the cumulative numbers and we able to compare them. And like we said last week, it's always going to be a skewed view. Did you live through seeing Jordan do these things? Did you live through seeing LeBron make the block shot in Golden State to win that game? Those are the types of things that you have to see and be a part of in the moment to really get that feeling and the grandeur and how big that moment really was.
And let me just say, some of these players are going to get mani-pedis. Have you seen D-Wade?
And his son, daughter. Hey, but I saw Jordan cross over Byron Russell and drop that shot. Like,
well, what you talking about? He pushed off?
Yeah,
he pushed him.
But it was still dope.
Hey, Jordan rules, man. Jordan rules.
I saw Craig Elo start crying on the sideline when Jordan dagged him. I mean, I saw these live and in color. I literally was in tears as a kid when my bad boys lost to Jordan and them. So, hey, it's just part of what that feeling is for you, and that's gonna always be your side of the debate.
But let me just say this real quick. Have you noticed that when it comes to like debates like this, it seems like more of a culture thing? It's like whenever we can't have two great African Americans doing something at one time. Correct. We always got to try to put somebody over
against each other.
But just listen to me.
No,
listen. Just let me finish. B. Jones.
Right.
Look, in the rap game, look at Nicki Minaj and Cardi B. We had Nicki Minaj. Cardi B came out, was a little bit like her. Nicki Minaj a little bit about Lil' Kim. Look at all the beef. Instead of everybody getting together and making the money together, we got to say, oh, this person is better than them. This person is better than that. That happens a lot in our culture. You can't say it doesn't.
Yes,
We
I
are the
agree.
one
And I'm
culture,
not
we
even
get in a high
African-American, I
position.
can tell you that.
Listen, when we get to a position, how many times do people of color actually look out for other people of color? You understand what I'm saying? I'm not trying to like say anything just truly negative. I'm trying to be real.
That's the
Kevin,
point.
I
It
think
could
the
be what's in
reason we
this.
have these
It could be what's in
debates-
this red cup too. Which is
But Kevin, but listen, I think the reason you have these debates is because the sports that we watch, and we're involved with consist of a high amount of African Americans. I hear Caucasian people argue over Tiger versus Phil. I hear Sampras versus Agassi. I hear Dale Earnhardt versus Jimmy Johnson. These are the types of debates you can have with a person who cares about those sports. But I am not the person that watches NASCAR, so I can't defend Dale Earnhardt on anything that he does or Jimmy Johnson. And I don't watch golf as much. So yeah, Tiger was great. I watched Sunday Tiger, but I don't really know what Phil Mickelson and how much accomplishments he's made. You see what I'm saying? Andre Agassi versus Pete Sampras. Do we really know? All we can look at is maybe some finals. I mean, Grand Slam championships. That's probably the only thing metric that I can gauge that on.
Yeah, but think about this though. When you're turning on the news to any sports radio or debate show or just even like what KT's talking about, like being in groups all in social media or whatever, 95% of the time, the debates that are only really going on is LeBron and Jordan. Nobody's really talking about Tom Brady and Joe Montana like that anymore. Like, I mean, yeah, you might have a select few people who are hardcore watching, but it's not being debated on a national level where everybody's talking about it. These two guys are the only ones, and not just because of Last Dance. They've been talking about this for ever since pretty much even before LeBron, won that championship in Cleveland. They were already talking about it, but it's just growing exponentially. And obviously with the Last Dance, it's even greater. And obviously the season that he was having right before the, coronavirus hit, he was on trajectory to be like, oh man, like he's in the 17th season, 35 years old, GOAT conversation. We're not talking about it because it's like almost like a conclusion's already made in the NFL. Like, oh, Tom Brady's a GOAT. We're not going to even really have a debate. Let's keep it moving. And that's it. Like nobody's going to have a conversation about anything else. And that's also position based, right? Like you can't say football player. No, it's quarterback. But in the NBA, it's always just player. They're not going by position. It's always just a one comment, one player. It doesn't really matter. And there's no way to prove who's better than, whatsoever. Like we're not sitting here, like I think we touched on this last, we're not sitting here talking about, oh, who's better? Who's the GOAT, Michael Jackson or Prince? I mean, how can you really prove who's better? I don't know. I mean, four of us could say Michael Jackson, one of you can say Prince. Doesn't make any of us right or wrong.
And they need to do a versus.
For debate issues, who would you pick out of MJ and Prince though?
I mean, I'd have to go with MJ, but personal preference. But
let me just say though, LeBron's shoes are horrible to me. They are the ugliest shoes ever.
Those new shoes are nice.
The new shoes are fire.
White MJ or black MJ?
Black MJ.
White MJ or black MJ?
Black MJ.
We're just
full nose, like bell pepper nose or the little skinny nose.
We're gonna take just MJ. Period. No.
Yeah.
Right. Black one, white one, transitioning.
Okay,
one.
so no love for Prince.
Oh, I love Prince. Don't get me wrong. But
okay, I'm going MJ too.
I've never really honestly listened to enough Prince to maybe even qualify myself as a real Prince fan. So
same here.
Shoe Surge.
It's really made me like want to bump and grind kind of.
Hey.
Michael Jackson makes me want to just dance and groove. Prince was kind of, had body roll.
It was
body roll to
so
Prince. Huh?
Were you listening to Prince at the park? Did you say you were at the park?
What's the next topic you said?
We save Prince for Thursdays, not Sunday.
Oh.
So moving right along, the NBA is allowing some teams to open practice facilities in May, and those teams are in states that have like low virus numbers. I would assume that would be like Utah,
Georgia. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so, how you guys feel about that? Actually, like Texas is opening up a little bit on Friday,
Yeah.
May 1st. I still won't be going out. I mean, I'll be going out like to the grocery store, my normal stuff, but I'm not going to go to a restaurant and still, yeah.
No, they're not opening. They're not reopening movie theaters.
Yeah, they are.
Changed it. Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Yes, they are.
Really?
Yes.
Bars and restaurants right now are the only ones that are due for May 18th. But everybody else, malls and
sure about that?
Malls and movie theaters are on the list for Friday. Correct.
It will be really hard. But
you sure you don't want to go watch the movie?
I'm good, man.
No,
I got that fire stick. I'm good.
My only issue with reopening is, okay, I understand at some point we got to at least try, but at least make it mandatory that people wear a mask. At least do that. If you come into the mall, you have to make it mandatory, period. Wherever you go, you step out, movie theater, mall, you got to wear one. I don't care. Like, it just, then how else are you supposed to know, like, if half of the people are wearing one and the other half aren't, then and then the ones that actually wasn't wearing a mask caught coronavirus, okay, then there's no way to contract trace or anything like that because you were in a mall with other people. Like, stuff. But when it comes to the NBA, I mean, they're looking for any way, shape, or form to start doing something just to start giving people some hope. I think it's also like a trial and error too, kind of like, the city of Dallas and other cities that are doing the same thing. Like, they want to see, like, okay, can they do a block of players at a time? There's no one-on-one drills or anything. You're at least just able to go into a gym, get your workout, shoot around, run around, whatever you need to do, leave, and the next person comes in. And then if they do that for a week or two, okay, they're testing everybody regularly. Okay, nobody has tests. Okay, maybe now we can start using that as data and show to the government and the NBA and policy people or whatever who makes decisions to be like, hey, I think we have a good track record. We can start like slowly ramping up, workouts and stuff like that.
Well, look at this. What did the mayor of West Memphis say last week, B. Jones? Could you repeat that for us?
Sit your ass down.
Exactly. Now, I want sports back, but we got to be smart.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about money. We know that. That's why, like I said last week, let's send those workers in there to see if it's okay for us to come out and go to our tennis salons and the golf courses, right? Now, I know that we want sports back really bad, but all we're doing right now, we're going to start a second wave of the coronavirus. We'll be stuck in the house until like October, and we're really not going to have any sports. So I wish everybody would take Marco McClendon's advice and stay at home. What you got, B?
No, I mean, from where I'm sitting, it's easy for me to say, let's not reopen everything. I know I won't participate in it. I can't. I'm gonna let everybody else who just gotta be out there go and be a part of it. But I do understand that it's a lot of people unemployed right now. I know it's a lot of families being destroyed right now through stressors and just unnecessary stuff. So if we can't figure out a way to put these people back to work, and I mean, I think I heard the number was up to 20 million Americans have been unemployed in the last, I think, month or two. So that's a lot of folks looking. But that's a lot of folks hungry, and $1,200 checks, they can only go so far. So I try to personally, me and my girls, we tried to order out every once in a while or go pick up some stuff just so we can, keep putting money back into some of these little chains and stuff. But I mean, like, there's no point in the movie theater being open. I don't understand. Like, to me, that's useless. Gyms, people can work out in their garage. Pam sent the picture of a home gym. Some of these places just aren't detrimental for us to get open and back running to do it, So, hey, look, the small business, the mani-pedis, I get it. You got to get open so you can make some money, but you got to be some guidelines and some rules to, like, hey, maybe only 2 or 3 customers can come in, or maybe customers by appointment only. And it's just some guidelines. But I understand, Kevin. It's dumb, but I get it. Some people are hungry right now, man.
No,
I don't really understand why schools are closed to the end, basically the end of the school year, which would be either the last week in May or like the first week in June. Why can't we just go ahead and just make it through May? I mean, we went through half of March, we went through April. Let's just go ahead and get through May and see what that does. See if that helps and get it down a little bit more.
But Pam, millionaires and billionaires,
You're right.
they lose a penny.
You're right.
They're hurting for some reason. People like us, we live in check to check.
Right.
It's okay for us to go out there and risk our lives to make money.
See, that's
for
the
them.
thing that I agree with you on, Kevin. Like it was like Elon Musk has some complaints. He's trying to get the country opening back. And I'm like, you know what, Elon, you're probably sitting on $500 million, right? So let's just hypothetically say Elon goes a year or two without making a penny. Him, his kids, his grandkids, and his grandkids' kids will still be able to live off the money he's already made, and nobody will miss a meal, and will probably still be able to live a luxurious lifestyle. The people like Elon who making $60 million a year, they need to throw that back to the people, man. That's the problem. You still got greedy folks who still being greedy and won't just unlock the purse of money and just give it out. That's all we got to do. Is if everybody just spread the wealth, then these little small business owners won't be hurting, and they forced to come back and work.
Gotcha. All right, y'all. So let's do the drop. Who's dropping shoes this week? Okay.
Hey, those are fresh.
Yeah. So if y'all see these in the store, don't buy them because I want to get a pat this time. And those are the Jordan 5. They call Fire Reds. You saw them. I can't describe them other than what you just saw. Gorgeous pair of shoes. And they probably go retail. I think they drop Saturday. So those are dropping this Saturday. And I think they're going to run you 200. So you got to be there online and probably
200. I'm gonna need them to send another check, and we're trying to get shoes. Yeah, we 200.
Speaking of shoes, did you guys happen to check out those fly Air Max I had on the other day?
What, the Tiger Prince on them?
The Carol Baskin at 97.
Never mind. Anyway,
when we checked it out, we heard that help.
You know what? I'm done talking to y'all. So does anybody have a music drop?
K-Camp, my guy K-Camp, he's one of those kind of underrated MCs that I really like. He'll drop them hot every once in a while. I don't know, you remember that song, Keep It 100? It's probably about 6 years old, maybe 5 years old. K-Camp was hot back then, but he came out with another album that's just dropped. And from the early review, seems like this was going to do well. So
is that all you got?
K-Camp.
Is that all you got?
That's the only one I peeped.
No. How could you? How could you miss Meg Thee Stallion and Beyonce Savage remix that dropped today?
Oh, yeah. I heard about that. I heard about it.
Now,
I only drop albums.
Oh, okay.
I only drop albums. But that's a clean drop.
Yeah.
That's a clean drop.
I'm seeing a lot of females. They're feeling this song.
I haven't heard it yet because I don't have Tidal. So
I just heard a snippet on it.
You got Twitter, don't you?
Is it on Twitter?
You can
find anything.
It's on Instagram.
It's everywhere.
I just heard it.
Can you go on YouTube and listen to it?
I think
you can listen to it on Apple Music.
It's not on Apple Music.
Okay.
I could be making it up though, but I can swear.
Put the red cup down. Put the red cup down. All right.
But Pam, but before we move on.
You know what? It's on Apple Music.
Thank you.
Earlier when I checked, it wasn't there.
This for you, Pam.
Keep going with the red cup, bro. Keep going with the red cup.
I didn't say nothing.
But listen, before we move on to drop, I want to ask y'all. Y'all know I'm not gonna buy a pair of Jordans, but if this one particular pair came out, I would think about it. What are y'all favorite pair of J's?
Man,
I'll go first. So mine used to be the 7 because it was just number 7 is my favorite number. And then they released 2 different types of shoes whenever I used to work at the shoe store. And my favorite was, no, I'm thinking of the 6s. But I like the 6s, the 7s, and the 11s are nice too.
What about you, Serge?
Man, that's a tough one. I like 1, 12, and 13, and it's really a toss-up between 12 and 13 for me. I'm probably going to have to go with 12s, man. Those 12s are, I mean, you can't really go wrong with the 13s either, but the 12s are probably flu game. Yes, those are just.
Those are my favorite.
Like, I don't even want to even wear them. I just want to look at them. Like,
look how much they cost right now. You got to pay.
Those remind me of every dude that ever cheated on me.
Really, Pam?
Dang, that's a lot of.
If you had a pair of those, you probably cheated on me.
Oh my God.
My favorite pair are the all black 13s.
Oh, okay.
Those are my favorite pair. Now, if they came out and the stimulus check came, I may or may not.
At the same time.
I may or may not cop a pair of those. I ain't gonna lie. I do like those.
They say another wave is coming. Another wave of stimulus checks supposed to be coming, man.
But I'm thinking what they said too, the Democrats tried to get it where it's gonna be like $2,000 a month for a couple of months. And they're gonna no mortgage for a year.
Can we say mortgage/rent?
Yeah, that too.
I wonder what they're gonna do about. So y'all thinking this is gonna be something long term though? We're not thinking this is gonna go away anytime soon.
It can't, man. Yesterday we had the most deaths ever at 19, and I think we're up to like 135 cases on that day. Then
what are you talking about? Who is we? Who is we?
Dallas County. Dallas County.
Oh, really? Well,
And you know the 19-year-old.
They got some kind of cure. I didn't get. It starts with the R. It's called
Remdesivir.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
They've already been doing a lot of tests, showing a lot of positive. I'm telling you right now, there is no way they're about to keep shedding out money month after month after month. I get it that, you know, things are going on and people need help and stuff, but they're going to figure out a way. They rather fork up a lump sum of money to scientists to come up with something ASAP so they don't have to, you know, keep shedding out $400, $500 billion every single month. And because it's not just a stimulus check, you're going to still have to keep paying these businesses too. So you're talking about trillions of dollars month after month or quarter after quarter after quarter. It's just not going to happen. Like it's so sooner than later, you'll start seeing slowly but surely things going back normal. Because I know people are like, I've heard some people say like, oh, if you don't do this now, then it's not going to go away. No, it's never going away. It's just, can we make it to where it's slow and steady, just like typical flu? Like, okay, only 100 of us at a time are getting it, not 100,000 of us at a time are getting it. You know, so it's going to be like that. It's going to be there. It's not going away. It's just, obviously the fear is, can we find something that's going to work before we go, you know, or if we let people go back too early, then that second wave, which is still, we're still in the first wave, but now because of going back too early and not doing social distancing properly, because I don't trust regular people who don't use common sense to, you know, take that seriously enough, because they're really only thinking about themselves. Majority of people who exist don't really think about other people. And so because of that, our second wave is going to be worse if we at least don't, you know, are practical about our approach into social distancing.
All right, so I got a question for all four of y'all, because this is a sports show, and even the girls, you like going to sporting venues, right? So considering we're going through the pandemic right now, come August, September, October, November, will you allow your kids to attend any major sporting events?
Can't see it happening. I will have to see some numbers at that particular point. I need to see what's going on. I would have to evaluate it. Right now I'm going to say no. But who knows? They could drop some fairy dust on us you know, when we go outside and we be all right. So I mean, I don't know. So right now I'm saying no, but that could change depending on what the numbers are at that particular time.
If this is August or October or September of next year, yeah, I'm definitely going in. I ain't going to nothing this year. Forget that.
Okay, so are you gonna go back to school in the fall?
Shoot, I gotta get my check. I gotta go in there with a mask, I guess. But yeah, I'm gonna have to
Gotta get
go.
paid.
I gotta get paid. I mean,
Yep.
Yeah.
sir, just get your boy to give me a cure because
Man, it's
All right, Will Smith.
I could go into more about the cure, but I'm not going to. Let's not go into conspiracy theories right now.
Okay.
yeah.
All
we
right.
won't say what
Say that big word again, Serge. You sounded very intelligent. What was it
Conspiracy
called?
What, remdesivir?
Remdesivir. Okay. All
Yeah.
right. I see
Uh-oh.
it. Okay.
That's impressive.
Because I couldn't pronounce it.
I just say
So
rim
I
rim.
was sneezing.
And we're gonna keep going.
I've
Yeah.
been hearing about it for 2.5 weeks, not just what they put out on the news yesterday. So that's why I say, like, if people are willing to do their research and actually dig, you can actually find a lot of information that they don't put out on the news, you know, so.
Well,
Dot,
black
dot,
people
dot.
probably not gonna say that R part, so it's probably gonna be disavir in the streets.
Rim
So
rim.
probably about the next month or two, they'll be like that disavir.
All right. So moving right along to the Manhattan Project. Katie, you got a drink of the week for us?
Yes. So since it is starting to warm up outside, I decided to do a frozen drink this time around. So in a blender, you'll mix frozen strawberries, frozen peaches. You'll use a whole bottle of rosé wine. You'll add some white rum and some agave nectar ice, and you blend it and serve it. And voila, you got this good strawberry peach drink.
So
Now,
do
did
you
you see
put a
Pam's
whole
face
bottle of
when you
rum
said,
too,
yeah,
or
you put
just
the whole bottle?
a
No.
smidgen of the rum?
No, just a little bit. Since you are putting the whole bottle of wine, just a little bit of rum. Yeah, I would say just however much you think, like whatever you know you can tolerate.
So do y'all do Jello shots? Do y'all like Jello
Yeah.
shots?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because I
I'm
found
not
this
against
recipe
them. I'll do
for
them.
peach Jello shots. It's the peach Jello with Simply Peach and Crown Peach.
Mhm.
So that's a whole lot of peachiness. But
And that'll probably be the only recipe I trust you with. So hey, if you're gonna make it, let's do it.
ain't there some? All right, no
Hey man,
problem.
what's in the cup, bro?
Right,
in the cup,
exactly.
It's tea.
Some liquid courage.
Mhm.
It's the KT project.
Katie, do you have anything else for us?
Yes, I have a few things actually. So since you brought up Insecure at the beginning of the episode, we're going to start doing a recap, an Insecure recap. We'll keep it short and sweet since the episodes are always short and sweet. What did you think of, did you watch episode 3?
Of course.
Okay, so what did you think about episode 3?
We have to listen to y'all, so y'all have to listen to us.
Oh, that's fine. Go ahead.
No. I watch Insecure. I'm just haven't watched any of the new episodes. So
Oh,
go ahead and
That's
run
your
it.
bad. Just like we're supposed to watch The Last Dance, you need to watch Insecure.
Insecure, yeah.
Well, see, I know that now. Y'all can't wait till the day of and then tell me to watch it. I
How
already
far
binge watched 3 seasons.
How far behind are you?
How many episodes is this season?
3.
3.
There you go.
Okay.
3 behind.
So let's just talk about episode 3. I don't like the awkwardness between Molly and Issa.
Right.
I'm not against Issa dodging Molly. I feel like she kind of needs to build confidence to make sure that the conversation that they do have when they finally have it, that it's everything that it needs to be, because I don't want them to ruin their friendship.
Yeah, I think that every now and then friendships kind of go through, especially female friendships, go through a little shift. And there's sometimes
Trifling.
Shut up. There's sometimes moments that might include jealousy or resentment sometimes for things that are happening in people's lives. Like if you're single and your new friend is in a new relationship and then she gets engaged and then she gets married and then she has a baby and you're still single, there can be some type of resentment and stuff. So a lot of relationships go through a shift. So I hope they can get back, talk it out, and get back on track.
Yeah. And at first, well, when Condola came along this season, I don't really like her, and I think it's really just hard for me to be accepting of Lawrence being with somebody other than Issa. So the way that episode 3 ended, I was howling.
I was too.
Yes, and then
That was really
Spoiler.
Did
You
you
out there,
understand?
you watching the show, and you were thinking about watching Insecure. Mute it right now because we got some
She
spoilers.
didn't say anything. She just said the way the
Go ahead and
episode
say
ended.
that.
yeah, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I'm
Yeah.
not going to say anything else. So we'll keep it at that, and then we'll start doing an Insecure recap moving forward.
So make sure that you guys get caught
I'm watching
up. Thank
all
you.
3 tomorrow because
Thank
now I know
you.
Lawrence is with somebody new, and
Oh, and
Well,
wait.
you should have already known that.
Yeah, and wait till you see TSA Bay. Yo, TSA Bay with the thickness.
Yes. Wait a minute, B. Jones looked up.
That caught my attention.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what? Whatever.
Okay, so I'm gonna go on to my next topic. I have 3 more topics. So just like you were saying, how when you get into new relationships and you have a friend, a close best friend that's single, sometimes your advice for like new younger friends is always do you. So I'm going to go on and talk about Gabrielle Union and Ayesha Curry Gabrielle Union telling Ayesha to kind of do her break up with Steph and enjoy yourself, be like have
I like how you're trying to keep it clean.
Okay.
Go be a thought. That's
Yeah.
what she was saying. Go be a thought.
Yeah.
Come on.
Whoa! I definitely didn't know about this.
After,
No, Gabrielle Union. Yeah, my bad, Katie.
oh no, go ahead, KT.
Gabrielle Union straight up said that back in the day when she was a thought, she
Yeah.
straight up said, "Hey, I'm not gonna hide anything. Dwayne Wade knew about it." She was telling Steph and Ayesha that y'all need to break up because y'all too young and y'all need to go out there and do you.
Yeah.
Too young. They're
Yeah, because they were 22 and
They're 30 now.
23 when they got together.
Yeah, this was in the past. This was a
Yeah,
long
this
time
is
ago
old. This
when
is
they
old.
had that
Oh,
conversation.
okay.
It's just coming out that she said it.
Yeah, this
okay.
is 2011.
Got
I
it.
can-
I knew.
I can see it. But I can see why she said it, in all honesty, but I really don't. I mean, that's not really someone else's place to tell them what to do
Yeah.
in their relationship. If they were happy, or regardless. I mean, I don't know the circumstances around it, but I mean, that's not you. You don't tell somebody that,
Ayesha better be glad she didn't.
right?
can
I
tell
mean,
you that.
because D Wade went and did him, and he got a baby extra.
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
that's
that's
what
not
I was
really-
gonna say. Kudos to you young ladies dropping this topic because hey, that's where the life part of sports come from. That's why all the women need to tune in. We got stuff for
Insecure, too.
everybody.
Mhm.
Insecure too. B, the more and more I learn about Gabrielle Union, she's a wacko. I mean, this woman is starting to be more and more out there on a whole different level than I ever thought. It ain't what is it? Set it off. What was she in?
A lot.
I don't know, but
Yeah,
hey,
a lot.
she nuts. Even the way she handled kind of the Wayne Wade situation. And number 3, anybody who's watching, don't take advice from somebody who ain't even got their stuff together. She taking care of somebody else's baby right now because she letting her man run off and do other stuff in the streets, being crazy. But that don't make sense at all. So,
Hey, bitch, like you've been holding that in for weeks, man.
Right.
You got that off your chest, man.
hey, it would have been a whole different red table talk with Ayesha Curry had she listened to Gabrielle Union.
I mean, and
Absolutely.
I don't know if Steph Curry's ever had his boys or friends ever tell him the same thing. Boy, you Steph Curry, man, you could leave, go do your thing, man. I mean, he's had all these years, so you got to give him props also for not being that athlete who's, who pretty much got everything going for him and, who could be stepping out and doing whatever, but he's not. I mean, and he's also helped Ayesha launch her career with her restaurant stuff and just becoming a social media sensation because most people wouldn't know who she is if she wasn't married to Steph Curry. Just be honest about it, so
Yeah, I don't think she was wrong for sharing. You know, it's just her opinion and how she feels. I don't think there was anything wrong with it. So I don't know, just
Yeah,
my
and
2%.
and we need sports to come back when they start leaking stuff like that. I mean, I wonder who leaked that kind of information about a private, confidential conversation.
I don't think it was that. I
No,
think,
it wasn't. They were doing like a Zoom or something with
yeah,
each
it
other.
was,
They did an IG live the other day,
yeah.
right?
Yeah,
And-
yeah.
and-
That's
They
why I
came out
thought
then.
he just told her both of them now. I'm like, what? Like, oh, okay, that makes sense. They showed them back in 2011. They just brought it up. You remember back then when I told you this to do this?
Yeah. And I would
Right.
say,
That's
girl,
probably
glad I
like,
didn't take
what?
your regular advice.
Mhm.
And then another thing is the advice to be a thought. Like, don't that mean that hoe over there? So I mean, like, you tell your friend to go be a hoe. I get
Pretty
it.
much.
Go
Get you a
in
little
the water,
piece. But you saying go get a whole roster.
yeah, you say be a hoe. God.
No, she want Gabrielle got a whole union, so she's
Yeah,
that's just you know.
I can't. Katie, what else you got?
Okay, so we keep talking about how we need sports back in our world. So in the world of Instagram scrolling, I came across virtual influencers. And it's like, why hire a celebrity supermodel or a social media influencer to market your brand when you can create an ideal brand ambassador from scratch? So there is this virtual influencer. Her name is Lil Michaela. She has 2.1 million followers, y'all. So whenever y'all get off the pod tonight, I want y'all to go check her out. She's created by an LA-based startup. Brands like Balmain even created a virtual army of digital models, and KFC even created a virtual Colonel Sanders. And the reason why I brought this up, because as I kept reading articles about it, how would y'all feel if, like how KT was saying earlier, come October, November, December, if sports doesn't come back and it looks like they're kind of like in limbo at what to do? What if they started creating virtual players for sports? Like, would it be something that y'all would be interested in, or no?
No.
Well,
Isn't that like an Xbox?
I was about to say, actually, I already got NBA 2K20, so I can play with virtual players anytime I want to. And B, KFC needs to get rid of Colonel Sanders. Nobody wants to see an old slave master before they eat their chicken. All right, that's the big problem with this whole conversation, is that it's time for them to move on. They need a chicken that dance or something. I don't know. Even Popeye went and got the old black woman with the southern drawl. Hey, baby. You know what I'm saying? Somebody auntie. So Colonel Sanders need to go. They need to get rid of that old icon. That's what I took from that.
I think they should have, when they changed the name, when they went from Kentucky Fried Chicken to just KFC, I think they should have they should have revamped the Colonel too. They should have just let the Colonel go and come out with the chicken Colonel or something. I don't know. They really could have did something else.
So y'all mean tell me because of him, y'all not gonna eat that chicken?
Oh, I eat the chicken.
I'm about to say, stop playing. Stop playing.
Oh, I hate KFC. I don't mess with KFC, man.
Me neither.
Hey,
I don't mess with
I saw a
KFC.
documentary about 8 years ago on KFC with them chickens with them 4 legs, man. They do them chickens bad.
And that's the only part I eat is the leg.
No, man, them chickens don't look right. Them chickens was just sitting there on themselves. Their legs couldn't even support their bodies. It was the grossest thing. It was the grossest thing I've ever seen in my life. No, y'all joking. Go watch the special. You'll never.
I'd rather not. KT, we're gonna go get us some chicken.
Yeah, pretty much. Hey, B. Jones, do you got a fade? Did you get a haircut, Playboy? You went out? It's like you got a cut. Hold up now.
Like he was late.
Hold up now. Hold up now.
He went to Brooklyn's house.
Yeah, shout out to my man Brooklyn with the new you. Got me right, man.
Got
I'm back, baby. The quarantine king.
We need a new Black Ranger. You can't be trusted. You got Corona.
Hey, KT, take your hat off. You got an afro under there since you ain't been able to. Katie, you got anything else?
We talking about me?
Okay, and then my last topic.
Who you talking about? You know I got no damn afro.
I thought maybe your close strands of hair grew back.
Let's call.
I de-
Let's call.
yeah,
Let's
my hair is
go.
definitely
Let's
all
go,
kinds of crazy.
fam.
I'm definitely not gonna take my hat off.
We
Why'd you
don't
take
do that,
take
fam.
your
We don't
head
do
off
that
while
to
you
fam.
joking? Let's see what
Oh,
you got
no.
on under there.
Yeah,
Yeah, let's see that.
let's not.
Let's go.
All right, KD.
We got
All right,
people
so
watching,
my
man.
all right, my last topic is going to be CeeDee Lamb's girlfriend is the ex of Trae Young. So Trae, so the ex-girlfriend's name is Crimson Rose, I think. So
That's
Crimson,
her real name?
I think that's her
That's
Instagram name.
I think that's her
Oh.
social media name. So Trae and Crimson, they attended high school and college together back in Oklahoma. They dated in high school for sure. I'm not sure if they dated in college. So it's funny because Trae Young did, I think he sent out a tweet commenting at the girl snatching the dude's phone. So, so being Trae, how do y'all feel your possible high school sweetheart is now with a poppin' America's team player? Would you try to get that old thing back?
Hold on. Before we go, I got to give her props because it's guaranteed if you mess with her, you're going in the first round.
Hey,
Didn't
if you-
Trae Young win the first round?
Mhm.
CeeDee Lamb win 17. So
hey,
you
she's
How
a
old is she?
scout for sure.
yes. What's
How
that?
She gonna get you paid.
No, I said she has to be what?
It's got to be 21.
Okay, Terrence will be 18 in October. We good then.
So hey, send her Terrence Way, first round draft pick. Let's go.
Start sliding the DMs now.
I can't deal with y'all. I was kidding.
Okay, so she graduates from OU next year.
So
Yeah,
she's
she's probably like 21, 22-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably took an extra year, like most of us.
Honestly,
always
though,
does.
she lost out in this whole deal. CeeDee Lamb got a great contract, but the money that Trae Young is making in the NBA with endorsements, she downgraded big time.
Big
CeeDee
time.
Lamb can go on to have a 10-year Hall of Fame career,
Not gonna make the same amount of money.
records, and he will never touch the amount of money that Trae Young about to make. So
Well, you never know what they
Hey.
broke up for. It might have been a mutual decision or, whatever. That's not
And
to
it,
say
was,
that.
and it was in high school too. Like
High
it was
school,
a high
right.
school relationship. So that's what I'm saying. Do you think Trae was slid in her DM and was like, "Hey, do you want to get back with me or you want to stay over there?"
How we
Like,
know she ain't still messing with him?
Why don't they reach out to Gabrielle? Let her tell them. Give her back.
Give
that's
her-
how that's
no
gonna
advice
go.
from Gabrielle Union. No, man, she need to leave CeeDee Lamb alone. Sitting over there looking like the fourth member of the Migos, man.
No, you
Y'all
know,
see him?
they said he looks like one of the characters off of Space Jam.
Yeah,
That
that dude looked totally. He was out there. He
Wow.
snatched that phone though. I wonder what the real.
Was that his
what was
phone
on
or was
that
that her phone he was snatching? Because he had his
She
own
came
phone
back.
in front of
She
him.
came back and said that that his agent was calling on FaceTime. And so she was doing the girlfriend thing and was going to answer the phone for him since he was already on another phone.
You see my face, Pam?
Right. I'm just saying that's what she came back and
Gotta
said.
clean it up.
Yeah, yeah. But
Mhm.
the look on her face when she realized
I
that
don't-
look
I don't know who was
embarrassment.
sitting on the other side of CeeDee Lamb, she had a look too. I was like,
The
I
mama.
know she wanted to laugh, but
I
she
would have
was-
been laughing, y'all.
she's
If
like,
that was me, I
oh,
would have
there's
been
a
I
laughing.
don't
camera
care
there.
who was on the phone. You don't snatch the phone out of nobody's hand like that. I don't care who was on the phone. That was supremely disrespectful, regardless.
For
You
him
just
or
don't
for
snatch nothing
her?
out of nobody's
For
hand.
him,
For
it was-
him, he disrespected her on national
Oh.
television.
agreed.
Yeah, you don't
agreed.
snatch the phone out of nobody's hand. Regardless, if you don't want him to
After
answer
she
it.
helped you get drafted in the first round. Come on, man.
Yeah, she scouted you. She made you the man you are. You big man on campus because you got Trae Young sloppy seconds. So don't
Let's
snatch
be
the phone
clear
out
though,
of her
and
hand.
I don't know if y'all noticed when you saw the video when he took the phone back, hit the button on the side already. So the phone, I think the phone was actually ringing because if you look at the video when he takes it back, he kind of does a little something on the side real quick.
But he
But-
didn't have to snatch it like B. Jones said.
You're
unless he was
right.
trying
He
to
didn't
hide
have to
something.
snatch it, but let's be clear. This man just got drafted. Do you know how many text messages he's probably getting on this same phone right now? Hey, boo. Ooh, see you. He don't want her to see that. So you know what? Just go and give me this back, and we'll talk about this later. And I don't.
So what about the
it
other
was
snatch?
probably a natural reaction. It was. He probably, it was. she probably played too much anyway. And, she probably used to her trying to see the phone, see what the passcode is. So, he was just like, give my phone back, girl, stop playing.
Oh,
What about the other snatch where the white girl got snatched off her boy?
That would have been me.
What about that snatch?
That would have been me.
Now,
Damn, get up.
yeah, that could have been avoided, though. It should have been said at the beginning, hey,
Right.
when he gets drafted, I'll be sitting next to him. You know what I'm saying? Don't just go.
My thing is, if she wanted to hug him because it looked like she was already sitting on his lap or whatever, sitting next to him. Okay, fine, give a hug, but then don't be disrespectful. Don't let that mama get her time in. That mama then took that boy to school, changed his diaper, fed him. She probably been through all kinds of stuff with him. You probably been around a year or two, and you want to hang on. But nobody will know you next year.
Yeah,
with
but here's the thing, though.
With the Pilot Prep jersey on.
Yeah. Are you trying to say she's gonna be like Russell Wilson's wife? That's what you're trying to say?
I'm not trying to say that. I'm just saying.
That's exactly what you said.
I didn't say that.
That's the conclusion I drew.
I just said that she probably not gonna be around.
But here's my thing too, though. The son wasn't trying to push his girlfriend away.
He was still in the moment, though. He was
still.
Because he didn't even hug her back. He was still like this, so he wasn't even paying attention to who was really.
Yeah, so he wouldn't have paid attention to the mother either. So it was a bad look all around. It was a bad look for the girlfriend because she was snatched. It was a bad look for the mom. Yeah,
too. I would have just been like, okay, mama.
Just go ahead and get up. And it's a bad look that the mom had to snatch her. It was just an all around bad look.
This is why I pray we never ever have to deal with the virtual draft ever again. So hopefully things will be back in normal soon.
But I have seen some drafts where they're still at home though, right? Like I guess if you're not first round.
Yeah, like guys if you're not sure where round you're gonna get drafted in,
you stay at home.
Don't fly.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right.
Yeah, you got to be like a top 35, top 40 prospect to get invited to the real draft.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, B. Jones, do you have a yeet for us?
Yes, I have a yeet of the week, and I want to make an acknowledgement before I give this yeet. So, first and foremost, shout out to Kevin, Serge for giving me the trivia question, Kevin for giving me the yeet. And after I researched this young lady, come to find out, she actually represents a lot of Alabama players. And contrary to everybody's belief that they say, B. Jones, you just hate Alabama for no reason, I give props to Alabama when they deserve it. I'm rooting for Tua. So now I'm rooting for Ruggs and I'm rooting for Judy. Now, with that being said, Nicole Lynn, if you haven't heard the name, go and Google her. Fellas,
if you haven't seen her, go check her out. She's a hell of an agent.
Great agent. And she's actually representing Quentin Williams, Jedrick Willis Jr., and a couple of other players that were actually drafted in this last draft. But what's remarkable about her is she's an African-American female in predominantly a white male's game. When you think about attorneys, you really don't think about African-Americans. Nonetheless, you don't think about African-American females. So she graduated from the University of Oklahoma. She won all kinds of awards. I think she was like the 2-time Woman of the Year by some agency. And guess what? She's actually repping Young Money Sports Agency. So Lil Wayne is part owner of the sports agency that she's doing work for. So I guess she had a really good stranglehold on the Alabama kids. 2 years back to back, she's had a top 10 prospect come out of the draft. So when you start being able to be in those types of rooms, she's going to grow and she's going to develop. I think also I read she has a ballerina. She's got some media personality. So she's and some other musicians and stuff like that. So she's doing it big. So yeah. So hey, Nicole, you for defying the odds, for going up against the men, the juggernauts in the game, and not being afraid, being tenacious. We salute you. You deserve a yeet.
All right, y'all. So next week we will talk about the Ball brothers signing with Rock Nation. Speaking of agencies and all that good stuff. So thank you guys for listening. We are 9 minutes over. It'll be 10 minutes by the time I finish saying what I need to say. But thank you for listening to another episode of Sports Life Talk, where life without sports is just talk. Make sure that you follow us on all of our social media platforms on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, all of that other good stuff. I'm sure we don't have TikTok.
We can get it though.
Okay. Oh, and also KD and I have a new Instagram page called the Ladies of SLT. So make sure you go ahead and follow us on Instagram. We'll be adding some sexy lady commentary to that and post and all that other good stuff. So make sure you join us there. So thank you guys for watching, and we will see you again next week.
Yeah, bye y'all.
Everybody take
Cheers,
their hat
KT.
off.
Cheers.
Everybody say what?
Take their hat off.
Everybody,
Cheers.
everybody ain't sneak to the barbershop like you.
Cheers.
You still got my curls though.
Hey, KT, 14 was the magic number though. 14